ways continue to grow, reports are also starting to circulate that Kanye West cut ties with Diddy after he found out that Diddy was conspiring with the Hollywood higher-ups to eliminate him.
It was like American History X. Like my head was on the side of the curve, and the exact people that I called out kicked my head.
While Kanye and Diddy were once close, and Kanye actually used to publicly praise Diddy for being an inspiration, the two of them fell out last year after Diddy slammed Kanye for exposing the shady business executives that control celebs in Hollywood.
Crazy, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying, you gotta be, you gotta understand like your actions, you know what I'm saying? And so that, you know, the action of that, you know, I couldn't put out the Kanye and Nothing t-shirt.
And while Diddy initially claimed that Kanye shouldn't be canceled for speaking freely, Kanye later exposed Diddy for aligning himself with the same corporate bosses that tried to destroy him. Meanwhile, disturbing rumors popped up online about Diddy being involved in the disappearances of some of his former business partners. And we're now hearing this is the reason Kanye and Diddy being one of the shadiest and ruthless people in the music industry are nothing new. Ever since the 80s, Diddy's been at the center of numerous conspiracy theories surrounding his alleged involvement in the deaths of multiple artists and former business partners. Most notably, there's a long-standing theory that Diddy was involved in the murder of hip-hop legend Tupac. See, much like Kanye, Tupac also tried to expose the evil side of the music industry before he was murdered.
There's too much money here. I mean, nobody should be hitting lotto for 36 million and we got people starving in the streets. That is not idealistic, that's just real. That is just stupid. There's no way Michael Jackson should have, or whoever Jackson, should have $1,000,000 billion and then there's people starving. There's no way. There's no way that these people should own planes and their people don't have houses, apartments, shacks, drawers, pants.
Not only was Pac outspoken about the shady business practices and greedy executives in Hollywood, but he actively worked on helping others from falling victim to the industry. In fact, former hip-hop video model and Aaron Hall's ex-girlfriend, Gloria Velez, claimed that she was almost sacrificed at a Hollywood party and that Tupac literally saved her life.
Within the commotion and people started moving towards, and you see the dudes, Pac runs. He runs towards Aaron, grabs up the girl, and says, "Nobody can touch her," points to me. And he goes, "She's family, she's Aaron's wifey. I told you nobody touches her."
And ever since Tupac was killed in a drive-by shooting in September 1996, there's been a lot of conspiracies floating around claiming that Tupac was eliminated because he wanted to expose the evil industry players, one of them being Diddy. In October 2011, LAPD detective Greg Kading, who worked on Tupac's murder case, claimed the police had evidence that Diddy commissioned Crips member Dwayne "Keefy D" Davis to take out Tupac for $1 million.
Diddy hears about the shooting, finds out that there's, Tupac's been shot and is in the hospital in Las Vegas. And according to Keefy D, he gets a phone call. He's actually with Zip, the intermediary, and they're back in LA. And Zip takes a phone call, and it's Puffy on the other end of the line, hands the phone to Keefy D, and Puffy asks him, "Man, is that us? Is it, what just happened out there?" Keefy D's like, "Yeah, that's us."
Okay. So then there's that $1 million.
So now there's this expectation of, $1 million.
And Diddy was actually asked about this during one of his appearances on The Breakfast Club. But of course, he got really defensive and claimed it's all just nonsense.
Now, it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there, with all due respect. But I appreciate you as a journalist asking. Thank you.
Because listen, 7 years ago, I'd have been like, "Yo, did you hire somebody to kill Pac?" But no, you do it like a journalist.
No, I mean, we wouldn't even get into nonsense like that. You know what I'm saying? It's nonsense.
Which we never believed, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
May be wondering, how is it possible that Diddy was never investigated if the police knew all about his alleged involvement in Pac's murder? Well, in 2018, Detective Greg Kading went on Reddit to answer fan questions about the murders of both Tupac and Tupac's rival, Biggie Smalls. And when one fan asked how Diddy got away with it all this time, Kading responded, "Puffy has made very good use of his lawyers over the years to insulate him from interrogation." And this is exactly why Kanye was reportedly worried that Diddy might do something to him and conspire with the same people Kanye wanted to expose. By the way, this theory was recently reignited by Jaguar Wright, who claimed that Diddy also had a hand in the murder of his former associate, Biggie Smalls, because he apparently knew that Biggie's catalog would be worth more once he's dead.
Puffy has been making money off of Biggie's name for longer than Biggie was alive. People keep forgetting he hadn't turned 25 yet. He was still 24 when he died. It's been over 25 years. Puffy has been making money on that boy's name longer than he lived. It supported all of Bad Boy. His catalog. Clearly, a Biggie Smalls verse is very valuable.
But that's not all. There's another thing that potentially links Diddy's involvement in Tupac's murder and Kanye West. In 2011, the FBI released documents related to the investigation of Tupac's murder, which described an apparent extortion scheme by the Jewish Defense League. According to these documents, the JDL tried to extort protection money from Tupac and made threats to him and other prominent rappers, including the late Eazy-E, who was also a victim of the extortion scheme prior to his death. The documents state that an unnamed member of JDL, quote, targeted Tupac Shakur prior to his death in Las Vegas, Nevada. And while it's unclear whether Diddy had any connections or knowledge about this extortion scheme, rumors are going around that Diddy still does business with the same people Kanye tried to expose for controlling and blackmailing artists. Kanye's public feud with Diddy started last year when Kanye drew backlash over his comments about shady Hollywood executives who tried to control him. After Diddy slammed Kanye, claiming that his comments were unnecessary and tone-deaf, Kanye retaliated by sharing a series of text messages he received from Diddy. After Kanye taunted Diddy by saying, "Come and do something illegal to me," Diddy replied, "As soon as I land, we'll meet face to face. Send me the address." However, Kanye clearly thought that meeting with Diddy in private was a bad idea because he texted him back saying, "F you, you're fed." Diddy then tried to convince Kanye that nothing would happen to him if they meet in person and wrote, "Don't feel threatened, you'll be fine, just love." But Kanye then went a step further and wrote back saying that Diddy is also controlled. "No one can threaten or influence me," Kanye wrote. "I told you, this was war." When Diddy later appeared on The Breakfast Club, he claimed that he was planning to release Kanye-inspired t-shirts. However, he changed his mind after Kanye started expanding the people who control the music industry. And while Diddy claimed he doesn't want to see Kanye canceled, he also criticized Kanye for speaking out against the industry executives, implying that he wasn't allowed to put out his t-shirts because of Kanye's comments.
We don't have to condemn Kanye or cancel him. He doesn't have to go crazy. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying, you gotta be, you gotta understand like your actions, you know what I'm saying? And so that, you know, the action of that, you know, I couldn't put out the Kanye and Nothing t-shirt. I couldn't do it on today, and I wanted to put out my first t-shirt to tribute Kanye.
However, Kanye then fired back at Diddy during his appearance on Drink Champs and said that Diddy never offered to meet in person and help him when the Kardashians were trying to keep him away from his kids. But the moment Kanye spoke out against the business executives in Hollywood, that's when Diddy decided to reach out and ask to have a face-to-face meeting.
I don't got no celebrity friends because when I was on TV, on Instagram saying, I don't know where my child is, and the Kardashians kidnapped my daughter in public, and I didn't have the address to my child, none of these that want to say something
Travis
now.
Gave you the address, though?
Travis gave me the address.
Right.
But as far as Meek Mills, Puff Daddy, whoever, none of these niggas, all you fake hard, fuck you. Hold on. Okay. All you fake hard, fuck you. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. I don't give a because you can't shoot nobody anyway, and the reason why you got to talk is because you did a deal, you fed. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to come at me, because part of the deal for you to be a do all that, and get out of jail is that you promise that you're going to go pull my co-car. So y'all niggas shut the up about me. Now let me say it calm. You shut the up about Michael.
Right.
I'm Michael now.
Also, when Kanye later talked to the Daily Stardust, he name-dropped Diddy while talking about celebrities who are controlled. Kanye said he's one of the few rappers that can't be controlled because, unlike the rest of them, he never killed anybody, so no one can blackmail him or use this as leverage.
I can't send none of y'all Meek Mills, y'all Puffies, y'all Lil Boozy, none of these names, none of these people. I have to listen to y'all because they have legal. I never killed nobody, right? I'm the that never killed nobody, right? But that means I can say whatever I want and not go to jail. And even if they did figure out a way, I'm still not backing down from what I said.
Kanye explained that he's probably the only prominent artist who can openly talk about the way Hollywood executives and music industry higher-ups deliberately screw with black artists' contracts so they can keep them under their control. And considering what the detective who worked on Tupac's case said about Diddy making good use of his lawyers to insulate himself, it makes sense why Diddy would never speak out against the corporate control in Hollywood. And now, on top of all this, sources close to Kanye are saying Kanye was genuinely worried Diddy might do something to him when he asked him to meet in person, and that's why Kanye has now cut all ties with Diddy and wants nothing to do with him anymore. As for fans, they're saying this actually makes perfect sense because Diddy has always been about protecting his own interests and stepping on others to get to the top. One fan said, Diddy's still in contacts with these sick individuals. Kanye better stay away from these snakes. We lost Dolph already, a young bright brother that wanted financial freedom with no strings attached. And another person added, Diddy making clear that it's much easier to be a puppet than a real one. But let's hear your thoughts on this. Is Diddy controlled by the industry? And do you think he really wanted to eliminate Kanye?